We are plugged in. You have choices in life, right? The illusion of choice is the grand reveal in my personal lifetime. Like I was before COVID-19, like, you know what I mean? You're doing your thing, you're living, and then you see it coming, right? And like, you know, I remember watching YouTube videos, you know what I mean? Back in November, December 2019, going, hey, this is coming. And people are like, yeah, whatever. No, that could never happen here.
This is the best time
you know what
of
I mean?
my life.
Flash forward to 2020, February, 3 months later, you know what I mean? And we're rating, you know, for toilet paper. And I think that was the first example of mass hysteria, right? Because we believed nature was coming for us because they controlled the narrative. Yeah. The fact that they manufactured it, paid out of, you know, now I'm probably saying some shit to put you on the map. You know what I'm saying? But they manufacture it, you know what I mean? And then
that hasn't been said already.
Right.
He said that they've already funded the NIH to do.
Right. But if you start with that initial narrative, the world goes in a different direction.
Oh, yeah, somebody's guilty.
The whole world goes in a different direction if we start with the narrative that, hey, wait a minute, this was, and when you start to point out those things, right? Let's go right back there. This is the red and blue pill where you could see people openly start to take the blue pill. Where you were like, yo, there's a lab just down the road. Shit look like Umbrella Corp. Motherfuckers are like, no, that's you're crazy. That would never happen. It's a wet mart. And then they start flooding your algorithms with, you know, wet mart shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're watching people eat some crazy shit. You're watching people, you're like, damn, no wonder that shit jumped. Like an evolutionary leap in the chain. You know what I mean? Because when they controlled the narrative,
they also added
they took our anger away.
Misinformation and
that's when they started with the dis and misinformation. It's a whole acronym now.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
How can it
fake news?
Actually, I believe they stole that narrative from Trump, who might very well have been telling a lot more truth than, you know, and this is the problem.
Man, I love
with brothers.
Saying I told you so.
We get a lot of our information from CNN. You know what I mean? I don't mean like us individually. I just mean like as a culture, because they have us so trained to believe that red is racist, that conservatives are racist, that, you know what I mean, Republicans are racist. So you consume your information from a liberal source. Not saying that it it doesn't align with my personal beliefs in some ways as well, right? But when you do that, they know they got you. Do you see what I'm saying? They can start to feed you the information over time.
Once they want you to believe it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fear, back to the virtue signaling just for a sec, the fear that you're going to show up somewhere and there's going to be a racist there is going to keep more brothers away from there than to there.
Exactly.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
History that they forced.
So let me just throw that out there.
But
Ukraine.
Even in saying what you were just saying, just to double back and not go too far.
Yeah.
You know, so I heard you say that we are in the Matrix.
For sure.
I heard you also say that, you know, they control the narrative.
One of the most powerful things in life.
I also heard you just say something about the liberals or the Democrats there would say that Republicans were racist.
Right.
Or to an extent to even deter people from even going over there to even exploring what the Republican side or conservative side is. And I'm saying this, it is historic fact that the Democratic Party came out of the KKK. They were the head of the...
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the obvious thing now is not that deception that we're still talking about.
Yeah.
It's a cover-up.
Yeah.
The most beautiful...
They've been blaming people for things that they've...
You know, and this is how I'm going to kind of just draw on the Kanye thing. Okay? Because,
Kanye
like you said, the cover-up thing, right? They steal you from your land. They steal your tongue. They steal your culture.
Your name.
They steal your name.
Stop that.
Hold on. Why would they rewrite you in the book in any positive light?
Yeah.
So black people, I believe, are one of the only people on the planet who have had their spiritual identity rewritten.
Yeah.
rewritten so that. And I
So
don't quote me on this
but
because
isn't
I'm
that-
not a biblical scholar by any means. But what I'm tying
How
this,
far
how I
into-
tie this to Kanye,
Yes.
okay, is one of the craziest things about what I witnessed, right, is us brothers and sisters were so quick to eat each other alive. Do you know what I'm saying? We
I
are
would say
so
some,
quick.
for sure.
We're conditioned that way.
Yeah, that's
We
what
are-
you were,
we
that's
are
what you were saying.
conditioned that
Phoebus,
way.
hold on. Remember, I was saying this for the last 3 pods, right? Other cultures, they build each other. Ours is the only culture.
Because we are the consumer. We provide the inspiration.
tricked us
We
into
provide
being-
the this is where black creators on places like TikTok and da-da-da, they're like, hey, people mimic my shit and get more views on what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You guys are actually paying them more, but you know it comes from here. You know what I mean? Like, there's this weird space where
Jay-Z said it the best,
black
my
folks
friend.
are allowed to expand to a certain
Degree.
level. You know what I'm saying? And just to twist back on Kanye, he was the richest African American in history. He's now the freest black man in American history. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yo, Phoebus said that.
He's
said that.
sovereign.
Oh, yeah.
He's sovereign. You know what I mean? And I think that's the greatest fear for all of these industries. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to rationalize his approach or his the feelings
got
that he hurt using whatever context that he wanted, but that's the power of free speech. You don't have to agree. Do you know what I mean? And I believe Kanye knows that he can't win the game.
Yeah.
You understand? But he can break the game. You know what I mean? So by saying
he didn't do it too early too. He
By
waited until he amounted
this is
a great fortune, and then obviously his
because
influence.
wait till I get my money right.
Even
He told you.
Yeah.
He told
Yeah,
you.
you see what I'm
Right?
saying?
And fuck you money is scaled out according to your goals, dreams, and aspirations.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, some people work a job, they get, 50 grand, they look at their boss, they're like, yo, beat it, I'm good. I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? And some people are like, no, I need 5 million. You know what I mean? That's what I need. Kanye hit the number. He looked at the wheel that he was contributing to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he said, you know what? I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off because nobody has a shorter memory.
I think they were trying to put a ceiling on him at that point too, like that he can't make any more.
Oh, hold on.
Oh
though.
no,
deals
I
that he was
think
going into.
I think in the next 4 years he 10x's that $400 million evaluation.
Oh, definitely.
He becomes $4 billion in the next 24 months.
Remember though, right? They called him crazy a few years ago. Tried to put him on drugs. He stopped taking the drugs. All of a sudden now, like, you're right, Khan. At the end of the day, a lot of the stuff, or half of the stuff that he says, I can't fully agree with, but I understand where he's coming from because, Phoebus, you said it yourself, right? All these doors are open to him because it was a yes massa. Once he decided to say, you know what? You know what I mean? They closed the door. Now he's able to turn around, like you said, and face the world
Face
and
the
tell
rest.
them the truth. You see
And
what I'm
from
saying?
his point of view.
Yeah.
And as black people, we shouldn't be concerned about house nigga, field nigga, whatever. We should be looking at black people
Expressing our
and
truth
saying, you
and
know what?
continuing.
Even if I don't understand you, I'm not going to contribute to tearing you down.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You've got to stand. He's got 2 legs and a heartbeat. He can stand up for himself. You said what you said, bruv. If that's what you said, you know what I mean? You either meant it or find a way to backpedal. But the
man.
reality that they could trigger us to eat our own.
Oh, look what they did with Kyrie.
And
Look
this
what they
is
did with
this is the
Kyrie.
triple top, right?
It's like a mark.
Kyrie got reprogrammed. He had to donate money and then go back to a reprogramming.
Which he didn't do, though.
I don't know whether he did or not,
no,
but
he didn't
the
do it.
people watching the people attack
Him.
as a group,
Right.
man, you know what it's like waking up every morning and it's like, what? You know, hold on.
They used to do
How am I going to
this.
find the courage to defend Kanye today? You know what I'm saying?
No, for real.
But-
No, for
What
real,
did he
though.
say
they used to-
today?
they-
You know,
this is like history repeating itself. You know, they used to make a public statement of those slaves that would, in the story, would
Bucking.
make their
Right,
run.
buck
we're going to
breaking.
buck you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
breaking.
that's
But
right.
they wouldn't-
Hang you forbidden fruit hanging
in
from
front
trees.
in front of
Right.
everybody, not only to in fear the rest to keep them in line, you see, but also to just
Let
And
them
I
know
believe-
this is your
I
place.
believe
trying
that's
to
the blue
That's
pilling.
the first.
That's the
police
blue
state
pilling.
right
when
there.
Kanye says we're $1.8 trillion, we being American.
Black
You know what I mean? Being $1.8 trillion.
Just black people.
Like
spending
the
yearly.
that dollar value broken down into, you know, gangster rap, pop culture, all of these things of influence that generate an enormous amount of wealth that actually are like totally dependent on the cycle, right? Young black man born no dad, does, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Grows up, gets into a gang, goes through probation. Look at Meek Mills. He's a prime example of a kid who got in trouble and ended up on 10 years probation for something that, in, the mass opinion, when looked back in hindsight, you're like, oh, wait a minute.
He didn't even do that.
And it's, not to get hung up on Meek Mills in any way, but like the system is created that way to, kind of keep you locked up in your own identity group, right? So when you see black people say things that are outside of your personal identity group,
Yeah.
you're like, yo, coon, or yo, like Candace Owen.
Era music. Is it hard enough